What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Sportacular here with a new video, and today we're going to start this new series called Hot Topics, where I go over all the Tennessee Titans hot topics, whether that be about the games or about how the season has gone so far. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because we about to dive into some Tennessee Titans content, baby. Let's get it. So the first hot topic I want to dive into is Will Levis. How do I think he's done so far? What do I think he needs to improve on? Things of that nature. And honestly, if I had to grade his performance so far, I'd give it a B. I think the guy has done pretty well for what he's had out there. I don't think he did particularly well in the second half of the Carolina Panthers game, and that's just because I think he was surprised by the amount of time he had to throw the football, because the guy has been under pressure all season long, or at least for his portion of the season. And I just think that, he was surprised by the amount of time he's had to throw the football. You look at the left tackle specifically, that has been an issue all year long. The guy's been on his ass a lot this year. And for him to be able to work with what he's had, because it seems like all he has is DeAndre Hopkins out there, but to be able to adapt to what you have, I think it's very interesting. And I'm excited to see what he can do next year when we do have this $100 million, and if we potentially have a top 5 pick. One of the things I do want him to work on is his pocket awareness. I think there are times where he panics in the pocket and he's just throwing it like way down the field. He's throwing strikes because he believes in his arm, which I don't mind that, because when you have an arm like that, like a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes, you got to trust in your arm. But I think he needs to learn situational awareness down the stretch, and I think he will. I think he's a rookie. He should just continue to work and adapt to the things that he has for the rest of the year. And look, I think that he's going to improve. I think he is going to improve because he has to. He has to improve, because in next year's draft, you're probably not looking at a Caleb Williams. You're probably not looking at a Drake May. You're probably not looking at a Michael Penix Jr. even. So the thing that he has to work on is being more and more and more aware of his surroundings down the stretch, because you don't want to go into next year with the talent we have and he just panics a lot, because that's not good for him. But I think he'll improve. It's the same thing from last week. He put up 0 in the first half against Jacksonville, but he was under pressure the whole time. Same thing in Tampa Bay, only 6 points. But again, the offensive line, which I'm about to dive into, which is going to be my next topic, I think that, he's going to learn. He's going to learn because he's going to have to. He's going to have to be the franchise quarterback, because Ryan Tannehill, I'm also going to dive into him as well. I don't know if he's going to be back next year, but we'll see. But I think that Will Levis has to be the guy for this team going forward. And that's it for the Will Levis topic as far as I know. Is there anything else that I could think of? I'll dive into the coaching aspect in it as well, because I did leave that out, but I think I'm just going to dive into coaching as a whole here in a second. But the next hot topic I want to get into is the offensive line. We're starting offense. So the offensive line has been atrocious all year long. Andre Dillard, specifically on the left side, has not been good at all. He has been getting beat in one-on-one. It's bad. It's really bad. Especially when you go back to the Cleveland game. Dude got embarrassed by Myles Garrett. It was just not a good day for Andre Dillard. And that was the first sign of we have a left tackle problem. I thought he did all right in the Saints game. For his first game, I thought he did all right. But ever since that Saints game, it just seems like everybody since that Saints game has just literally fallen off a cliff. I don't know what's going on with that. But but Andre Dillard cannot start at left tackle. I don't care if he's healthy or not. He cannot be, he cannot be your left tackle. There's just too many issues going on right there. He has got to be benched. You have to see what you have in Jalen Duncan. I don't think Radence needs to be there either. As you can tell, he has been struggling with the false starts. Now, some of that's on Will Levis with the cadences, which I think are nice, but I think it's too advanced for offense right now because we don't have the talent, specifically on the offensive line, to be doing those cadences quite yet. But I think he is ahead of the offense, is what I'm saying. Will Levis is ahead of the offense in terms of the ability to do the cadence or the hard snap or not the hard snap, but the hard count and things like that. It's just too advanced for our offensive line. Our offensive line is just not good at all right now, so we need to chill on that. But back to the Andre Dillard thing, yeah, you have to see what you have in this rookie, Jalen Duncan, because Dylan Radence is going to get false starts. And it's crazy because we all wanted to see Dylan Radence, see what he has, because, we didn't think he had a fair shot at the left side. And now that we know that he can't do that, yeah, see what you have in Jalen Duncan. I thought Jalen Duncan did all right in the Panthers game. That doesn't convince me enough to say he's the left tackle of the future quite yet. I still think if you have a top 5 pick, you need to address. I know it's going to be a boring pick, but you have to get an offensive tackle. In my top 3, it's Marvin Harrison, it's Brock Bowers, and it's Kool-Aid McKinstry. Yeah, Kool-Aid McKinstry. I wouldn't mind having a corner either. We're going to get into defense later, but I think that if you take an offensive tackle to pair with Peter Skoronski, because Peter Skoronski has been doing very good. He's been doing very good. And a lot of people want him on the left side, want him at left tackle, and I'm just one of those people who's like, no. And I understand he played it in college, but I like where he is now. I think he's going to be an all-pro guard one day, the way he's playing right now. If you get him some help on that left side you've already got figured out. Now you just need to figure out the center and the right side, which I thought Radence was all right at right guard, or maybe you could slide Jalen Duncan over there. He's all right over there as well. But yeah, continue to see what you have in Jalen Duncan, because I think for the rest of the year, with where we are at 4-7, you need to see what you have in your young guys. You need to see what you have in these guys, because honestly, this team is not making the playoffs. This team is not making a run. This team is not making any noise. So you have to see what you have in your young guys right now. But yeah, I think that Jalen Duncan did pretty well for what he was given in the Panthers game. He has a lot to learn. He definitely needs to learn technique. He has the skills, and he came into this draft as a developmental player. That's why he fell all the way into the 6th round. But one of the things that I think he needs to work on is when he's blocking, it seems like there are his defender, the defensive tackle that he's going up against. He has his arm. Jalen Duncan has his arms like this, but then the defensive tackle or defensive end or whatever is going like this, pushing his arm down, and that's how he's getting beat. If he can learn that and get stronger, I think he'll be a much better improved left tackle. That might not mean that I need him at left tackle next year or beyond, but he definitely has the skills to be a good rotational piece. Like if a player goes out or something like that next year, if you do have your left tackle in there next year, I really think that you can, rotate him in and out with another Joe Alt or a Fashanu if you do get that in the draft. Or if you go into free agency or your second round pick with a lineman, I just think that Jalen Duncan needs to work on those things, because it's very important for him to work on those things, because you are going to be the starting left tackle for the rest of the year. Mike Vrabel already announced that he already announced that Jalen Duncan will be the left tackle going forward, which I do like because it gets him to learn. And I think that's smart for Mike Vrabel, because you need to see what you have in your young guys at this point. On the right, at center, we got to talk about center. Now that we've got the left side done, we got to talk about center. Aaron Brewer cannot be your starting center next year. In fact, I wouldn't mind having Corey Levin in there, or if you want to move Brunskill over to center and maybe have somebody else play right guard, Radens play right guard. I wouldn't mind that either. But Aaron Brewer is just too small. He looks really small out there compared to all the defensive ends, defensive tackles, linebackers, etc., etc. He just cannot be your center going into next year. There's too much going on over there. The dude, when he snaps the football, he either snaps it too high, and ends up being a fumble. He's done that a few times this year, and it's very frustrating to see that. And I understand that Mike Vrabel said he's tougher than a $2 steak, but come on, dude. If he's tougher than a $2 steak, then why does he keep getting beat? Why does he keep doing these high snaps? He's just too small to play center. And we thought, because I think he was on the right side last year, that moving him to center would change things. And no, it has just not worked out at all over there. We need a center with one of our draft picks. Or you need to go into free agency. Or try Corey Levin, see what he has over there. Maybe try him at center. Maybe you move Brunskill over to center and you put Dylan Radens over there at right guard. And then the right tackle with Hubbard and NPF being out for the year. I'm going to dive into the right side here in a second. I think you do need to address the center this offseason for sure. That and the left tackle position need to be addressed for sure. That's the biggest needs on the offensive line this offseason. But yeah, Aaron Brewer's too small. He can't do it. You look at the high snaps that he had this year. He did one against Atlanta when Malik Willis was in the game, and then he did it again. I want to say it was the Tampa Bay. Was it the Tampa Bay game? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I want to say it was a Tampa Bay game where he did another high snap and Will Levis had to go all the way up and get it, and he can't play center. We need something else over there because it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work over there. But on the right side, NPF out for the year. I think Chris Hubbard is out for the year. Let me check that real quick on my phone. I think Hubbard is also out for the year. Let me see. So Chris Hubbard is out for the season with the bicep injury. So I didn't really get to watch the Panthers game that much. So I'm just going to take bits and pieces of what I saw of the game. But I think that Dylan Radens may need to be over there at right guard and at right tackle. Who do they have last game at right tackle? Let me know in the comments. I'm not particularly sure who they had over there on the right side with NPF and Chris Hubbard being out for the year. But this is another, not another hot topic, but now I'm going to dive into the right side. Yeah, so both are out for the year, right guard and right tackle are both out for the year. No, Brunskill. I'm tripping. Brunskill's over there at right guard. What am I talking about? And then they put, didn't they put Radens at right tackle last week? I can't remember. They put somebody over there. But yeah, Brunskill's over there. Okay, never mind. But Brunskill, I thought he's did pretty well this year. I think that he has been definitely far from the worst on the offensive line. He's been pretty good over there. And then you look into the right tackle. So both tackles are out for the year, NPF and Chris Hubbard. And I'm going to dive into NPF real quick. NPF, you come into the season with the issue of you betting on your own team or whatever, or he did some kind of bet, because it is illegal for NFL players to bet because they make all that money. But he comes into the season with that issue. And then mid-season, we're now at the midway point of the season, and he gets hurt. So a tough year for NPF. I don't know if he's going to be back next year. or if we're going to keep Chris Hubbard over there on the right side next year, or if we're going to see what we have in the draft. But if I'm the Tennessee Titans, if it is going to be if this is his last year, I wouldn't mind it. NPF has been a disappointment for me personally. He has been a disappointment over there on the right side. I just don't think that he has the technique to really block. There are a lot of times on occasion where he gets beat, and I just think you need to go a different route next season. If you are to keep Brunskill over there on the right side, get that man some help, because NPF is just not going to cut it. And Chris Hubbard is older, so you might want to get younger over there as well. So maybe need to address that in the draft. Maybe need to address that in the offseason. We'll see where that takes us. But, yeah, I think that NPF, if you're not going to bring him back next year, I wouldn't mind it, because you need something else over there on the right side if Brunskill's coming back. Okay. Now that I think I've dove into pretty much everything I needed to on the offensive line, let's get into the running backs. So, Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears are obviously the two back there on the in the backfield. So, let's dive into that real quick. Before I dive into that, though, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to do more hot topics. I just got this microphone. I know it's not the best microphone, but I'm getting there, and I think I've got the equipment I need to. I need to figure out what's going on with the lag. I know you guys are probably watching this right now and wondering, well, what's going on with the lag? What's going on with the lag? Yes, I'm going to find ways to fix that. If I do need to get a new computer, I will do that as well. But diving into the running back position, so we're going to start off with the obvious one, which is Derrick Henry. He's been doing pretty good, and I want to say he's still top 3, at least top 5 in rushing. He hasn't been doing particularly well these past few games, and it's because the box has been stacked up for him. He hasn't been able to find those holes in the defense, and his carries are limited, and I think we're like 5-0 or something like that when Derrick Henry has over 20 carries. But Derrick Henry, I'm going to dive into this real quick, and this might be more of an end of the season thing. We'll see where we're at the end of the season. But if you can bring Derrick Henry back for cheap, that would be all right, because the dude's about to be 30, and that's usually when running backs start to fade a little bit. And he has lost his step. I mean, it's pretty obvious the guy has lost his step. He's not as quick as he used to be. He's still a productive running back, but he doesn't look like the bell cow that he used to. And that's not me saying he can't get another 100-yard game this season, because I do think he can get another 100-yard game this season. He might get one next week this upcoming week against the Colts. We'll see, but I think with him slowing down, it's going to be easier for the defense to get to him, because in 2018 when he went off against the Jags, or you take 2019 against the Ravens, I think at the time he was a lot quicker, and it was just easier for him to find those lanes. Even if the lanes were clogged, he just found a way to bounce off the tackles. Now it just seems like he's easier to tackle this season. It's easier to tackle him now because he is slower and he has lost his step. And again, that's not me saying that he can't get another 100-yard game. I do think he can get another 100-yard game this season. But I don't think that he is going to be that 2,000-yard runner that he used to be. He's not going to be that 172-yarder games anymore. I think the most he can get at this point is maybe 120, but you're not going to see 200-yard Derrick Henry anymore. I think those days are officially put in the coffin, and it's sad to see that, because I think Derrick Henry is such a good player. And I hate when this franchise wastes running backs like Eddie George. I guess we need to go back to Earl Campbell, because he was technically the Houston Oilers. But But they've wasted running backs like Earl Campbell, Eddie George, Chris Johnson, and now Derrick Henry. And what I mean by that is you have Super Bowl winning, not Super Bowl winning, but you have Super Bowl caliber running backs on your team, and you don't find ways to build talent around them. You're just going to waste them. Look at guys like Barry Sanders. They didn't build around him, and or Bo Jackson never built around him. Hell, I can even use you can use I feel like I'm missing a big running back here that didn't win a Super Bowl. Let me see. In the 2010s, at least. Let me check. I would say Jamal Charles, but no, I'm looking for something else. Because Reggie Bush won one. Okay. Yeah, Adrian Peterson. That's the one. Adrian Peterson. Yeah, they wasted Adrian Peterson. Never won a Super Bowl. So, there you go. I think when you don't build around your running back, you can't win a Super Bowl that way with him just being the whole offense. You can't do that anymore. You have to have something else. Now, that's not me saying you can't win a Super Bowl running the football, because you can still win a Super Bowl. Look at the Chiefs. They used Pacheco in the Super Bowl, and that's how they won. Of course, Eagles fans are going to say that wasn't a flag, but at the end of the game. But yeah, I think if you don't have different ways to use your run game now, because the game is too advanced now to where you need to find different ways to use your run game. And if you don't do those things, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. You can't just win a Super Bowl with just one player anymore. You have to have multiple pieces around you to win a Super Bowl. And, that's just, it is what it is. So, I don't get it with this franchise. It feels like we waste talent. We have the pieces to win the Super Bowl, and we just waste it. But yeah, I don't think you're going to see 200-yard Derrick Henry again. This was his chance against the worst defense in the NFL. I just don't think he's going to get that now. I just don't. But diving into Tajay Spears, I do like Tajay Spears. I think that if you get him in space, he is very productive out in space. He beats the guy off the first step with the juke move. I love that. We need that here in Tennessee. We need someone who is shifty. We need someone who can get out in space and make plays. I don't think he's going to be bell cow. I don't want him to be bell cow. I don't want a Tony Pollard situation with the Cowboys. You see what's going on in Dallas. They miss Ezekiel Elliott because their red zone offense hasn't been good. Because Ezekiel Elliott was their red zone offense. And I just don't think Tajay Spears should be the bell cow. I think you need to look at maybe in the draft for a running back, or you can find a free agent and this is a big if Derrick Henry is not here next year. So I think you do need to look into that as well. But yeah, I love Tajay. I think he's great. But I'm going to dive into play calling offensively here in a second. But Tajay is nice out there. I think you need to put somebody with him if Derrick Henry is not going to be back next year, which it would suck because he is so close to 10,000 that I think he can crack another 1,000-yard season. It'd be his last time he does that. But Tajay's nice, Tajay's nice. I want to see more. But there are times where he is getting more snaps than Derrick Henry. But if Derrick Henry gets 20 snaps, we are guaranteed a win. So we'll see. Or 20 carries, rather. My bad. I don't know why I keep saying snaps, but 20 carries. I'm going to dive into the coaching. Specifically the offensive coaching, because we haven't even gotten to the defense yet. So this is going to be my next hot topic. My next hot topic here is the coaching offensively. So, Tim Kelly, what do I think so far and I'm going to give him a grade overall, what I think he's done this year, what I think he can improve on, things like that. Tim Kelly has done, for the most part, I guess an okay job. I guess he hasn't done awful by any means. Like, sure, we haven't scored 30. And I'm going to actually dive into that here in a second. I think that the talent out there, that I think we just don't have the talent right now to score a lot of points yet. I think our offense is too slow, not slow, but too conservative right now. I just don't think that a lot of the plays that Tim Kelly is calling is just working for this offense. I think he is calling the plays for the wrong offense at times. You look at the quick screen passes, I don't know why we keep doing that. It's just a waste of a down, I think that it's just a waste of a down. What I'm talking about, when Will Levis quick strikes it like over here to the right or over here to the left, to try to create space, but our blocking is just not good right now. I don't know why Tim Kelly keeps doing those plays. That needs to go. That needs to go. That needs to go. Until we get talent in here, that needs to go. Because I'm actually going to dive into that too. I'm about to dive into that. What am I talking about? But yeah, get rid of the quick screens. It's not working. You need, if you were to get Tajay in space, why not do a quick not jet sweep, but maybe do the jet sweeps. Or you could do outside, tosses, things like that to get them in space. Don't keep doing these quick screens, because that makes your offense so predictable, and it's just, I think it's too advanced for our offense right now. We need to look into blocking. That's the biggest concern, is the offensive line. But yeah, I think Tim Kelly, there are times in situational football where he just isn't good. Like, you go back to the Colts game earlier this year, and I do apologize if I'm lagging. I am going to fix it eventually. But you look into the Colts game on 4th and 1. Why are we in shotgun formation? Why are we in shotgun formation? Like, damn well that on any team that's not going to work on a 4th and 1. It's times like that where I'm just scratching my head. I'm just like, why does he keep, why did he run that? Like, there are just times where I'm like, why would you run that play? It doesn't make any sense. You can't even run that in Madden. It's just, what are we doing? And I do apologize for the lag. I am going to get it fixed. This is frustrating. This is just as frustrating as the offensive line on the Tennessee Titans, this lag that's going on. So yeah, Tim Kelly, I do like his his play designs at times. I do like how he gets receivers open at times. But can we stop doing the DeAndre Hopkins? Can we please start putting him on a slant route or a crossing route or something? So that way you can get him away from the safety. Because I feel like teams are going to triple team DeAndre Hopkins because you keep putting him on the outside. If you put him in the slot, that might throw the defense off, because then it's like, okay, well, we can't really triple team him in that situation. Get him away from the safety. Get him away from the outside corners. Get him in space. See what he can do in space. And they finally did it in the Carolina. It took to the worst team in the NFL to finally do it, but he put him on the crossing route. And look, it worked. I wonder why. Because teams cannot triple team you in that situation. I'm just saying. Put him on a crossing route. We need to start putting him on the crossing route. And then if teams start to key in on that, maybe then you can go back outside. DeAndre Hopkins, though he is 31 and older, he can still be a threat on the offense. So I do think that you need to put him on a crossing route, because it seems like it's working out there. And overall, Tim Kelly, like I said, if I had a grade, I guess I'd give him like a C, borderline C minus for the times that he is an idiot. But honestly, overall, I guess he's done fine. He's done fine. I think think until the offensive tackles improve, there's just nothing you can really call that's going to change the narrative of this offense. And for the people who are saying that we do need a new offensive coordinator, I think that how's that going to affect Will Levis to go through two different offensive coordinators in a year and a half? You know, how's that going to affect Will Levis? Because he's still a rookie, you know, and I just don't know if changing play callers quite yet would change anything. You know, let's see what Tim Kelly does with talent first, because if you have talent in here, that does make a big difference. Let's see what he does when we do have that $100 million. Let's see what his play calling is then. Again, do apologize for the lagging, but let's see what he does with talent, because I think it's too early in Will Levis's career right now to be like, oh yeah, well, let's go get an offensive coordinator. And name me an offensive coordinator right now that's going to do a better job than Tim Kelly out there, at least right now, because I don't know if there's any offensive coordinators available. Not that I've looked into yet. I will look into that if I can tonight. But name one. We can't, because it's not the end of the year yet. So, like I said, overall, I guess I give the guy a C-. There are things that he needs to work on, like situational football, but you can also blame that on Mike Vrabel. Because Mike Vrabel is playing conservative at times. You know, maybe he's telling Tim Kelly, okay, I want to run this, I want to run that, and Tim Kelly doesn't have the freedom to run what he wants to. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, Tim Kelly, C. I would like to see more of Josh Wiley. I think Chig has been a disappointment this year. I want to see Josh Wiley. He's making plays out there. When he's given opportunities, he's making plays. Let's see what he can do. You might not need a tight end in the draft. If you could just see what Josh Wiley is. I understand Chig, you know, he's got the fantasy potential, but we need to see what Josh Wiley has at this point. Chig has been a big letdown. And get rid of Wesco this offseason. The guy cannot block for shit. We need to get rid of him. But yeah, let's see what we got in Josh Wiley. Next topic I want to dive into, now that I've got the offense figured out altogether. Oh, one more before I move on to the defense. All right, I'm gonna get close. So, ear rape incoming. Just know that. Get rid of the offensive line coach. He is horrible. Okay. Sorry about that. Just needed to get that out of the way. But let's dive into the defense. I thought they did good against Carolina. I thought they did good. You know, I like Danico Autry, how he's out there making plays. You know, that's nice to see. Jeffrey Simmons, the big money man, you know, out there making plays. You know, I like that. You know, and I've said all year, you know, that there are people out there who are going to compare him to Aaron Donald and things like that. I just don't see it right now. And it could be because he doesn't have help. But come on, you're getting paid, what, $94 to $100 million? You know, we need you to step up. You're a big money guy. We need you to step up. You're the most expensive guy on this team. We need you to step up here. And and like I said, if you get him some help next year, you might see that Aaron Donald trait. But as of right now, I just don't think that he's good in run defense. I thought he's done pretty well in run defense, especially in the Jacksonville game when he smacked that dude. You know what I'm saying? You know, the hard hit, that was nice to see. But honestly, right now, I just don't think that he needs to be compared to Aaron Donald right now. I just don't think that is something that needs that people need to put to rest for now. But we'll see what he does next year. If he can live up to that Aaron Donald hype or that Chris Jones hype. Because as of right now, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. He's not getting to the quarterback that much. Come on. We need you to step up. And he's getting double teamed. I understand that. But there are times where he's one-on-one and he's just not winning. Come on, dog. We need you to step up here. Come on, dog. Harold Landry. Now, he is slowly but surely getting there. There are times where he's making plays. I think next year you're going to see better production out of him because he should be fully recovered from that ACL by that point. But I think that he can improve. There are times where the quarterback is getting away from him, and I do think that he needs to improve in that aspect. But coming back from an ACL injury, it's going to take time. It's going to take time for him to recover from that. But I do like what he's done lately. He has been getting some sacks here and there, which is nice to see. And now I think that he's going to get back to that Pro Bowl level when we do have this $100 million and maybe some better players next year. Excuse me again. And again. But yeah, I think Harold Landry, it's going to be a time thing with him. Arden Key. Hang on. Do I need to get close again? Let me get close. All right. Get your ears ready. It's about to get loud. Pause. I don't know if I'm ready to do this. I think I'm ready to do this. All right. Arden Key is not a starting edge rusher in the NFL. Ear warning again. Headphone warning again. Arden Key is not a starting edge rusher in the NFL. You're telling me that it took you to the worst team in the NFL to finally do something. Apologize for the lag. Man, this is frustrating. I'm recording on OBS and I'm looking at this. Yeah, this is frustrating. Maybe I need a new computer. We'll see. But yeah, the guy made plays in the Saints game. Talking about how Jacksonville got rid of him and we have to see him twice a year. You had an opportunity to do that last week to show Jacksonville that they should have kept you. And yeah, I think they're fine with getting rid of you. I think they're okay with that. I think they're okay with that. He is simply a rotational piece. You need to find an edge rusher in the draft or via free agency. You have to have another edge rusher. This guy is just I don't mind keeping him, but he can't start. He cannot be your starter next year. He needs to be a rotational piece. And he needs to be a rotational piece for if you're going with different packages like 3-4, 4-3 zone, maybe if you're trying to play man coverage, you bring him in to see if he can blitz the quarterback. And it's not like he's going against, Pro Bowl left tackles or anything like that, because who the hell on the Panthers is a Pro Bowl left tackle? He finally had a sack, and it's just like, dude, it took you to the worst team in the NFL to finally do something. Yeah, the Colts are probably going to lock him up this week, just letting you know. It's just frustrating, man, because we thought Arden Key was going to be that guy, and he has just not been that guy. I don't know if it's a Shane Bowen thing. I don't know if it's an execution thing, but yeah, I want to see Caleb Murphy out there. I've been said that. I want to see Caleb Murphy out there, get him some reps, see what he has. He has been hurt, but when he's healthy, I do want to see Caleb Murphy. See what we have. Put Travis Gibson back out there. There are different things. And again, that's on coaching. That's on coaching for why these things are happening. But now that we've got that out of the way, I want to get into Azeez Al-Shaair, because I think Azeez Al-Shaair has been all right. He's been all right. he's done pretty well in man coverage, but the poor tackling, yeah, now we have a linebacker problem. I'm sorry, but he cannot tackle for shit. We've got to find something in the draft or via free agency for linebacker because this guy's just not good as a starting linebacker. And it seems like the similar thing with Artie Key, simply a rotational piece. There's a reason why they're rotational pieces in Jacksonville or in San Fran, because Aziz played at San Fran while Artie Key played in San Fran and Jacksonville in Bouval. So honestly, yeah, Aziz cannot be your starting linebacker going in next year. And I just don't think there's anybody that's better on this team, not that I can think of. Jack Gibbons has been all right, but again, you need someone better out there. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed this offseason as well. But now that I've got the linebacker issue out of the way, I want to dive into the next hot topic, which is probably the biggest hot topic on the defense. Our secondary. Our secondary is hot shit garbage. They're just hot shit garbage. SMB has been doing all right over there, but he's been the best one. But the biggest one that I think everybody is going to talk about is Christian Fulton. Follow me on Facebook, by the way. I'll leave a link in the description. But yeah, I don't like Christian Fulton on the outside. He's just not good. Christian Fulton's not good. But I want to dive into something very interesting here because the fan base wants somebody else out there. But I'm here to tell you this. Name one player other than SMB that's better than Christian Fulton on the outside. Name one. Name one player. Let me know in the comments because Trey Avery is going to constantly get picked on in man coverage because he's too small. And then Kendall Vildor is somebody we picked up off the streets. So, and I got into it, maybe not got into it, but a guy was talking about how Christian Fulton on a Facebook group that I am in, which is, I think it's Tighten Up on CBS Sports. But the guy was talking about how Christian Fulton, needs to be completely benched or there's some players that are better, call somebody up from the practice squad, this and that. Okay, look, buddy, look. If you are watching this, I just told you who's better than Christian Fulton on the outside right now. Other than SMB, other than him, he's fine. Other than him, who's better than Christian Fulton? Name a practice squad player. Name a guy off the bench. Go. Because I can sit here all day and wait. I've got all day. I'm off today. I'm off of work today, so we can discuss this. Come on. Seriously. I'm talking. And then he was like, "What?" And then I told him, "Hey, well, just wait till next year because we will have money in draft capital. Let's see what we have. Let's see where we go with that." And the guy was like, "Well, no, because the players on this team determines next year." And I'm like, dude, this roster is going to be different next year. A lot of guys that are on this roster right now won't even be here next year. We're going to cut them to save money. So what are we talking about? Caleb Farley is a bust, and I'm sorry to say that. The guy's a bust. He's a first-round pick, and I know he's going through it this year with the whole family situation and, the fact that he can't stay healthy himself. But the guy's a bust. He is. We need, and we thought he was going to be our corner one, but he's not. And now that you have Christian Fulton out there, it's just like, dude, I mean, like he's probably not even going to be here. And I'm going to say it again. The guy does not deserve a contract does not deserve a contract extension in his 5th-year option. And in college, I thought he played in the slot, which is different than playing on the outside, which is where he was successful. So, and then I was like, okay, well, what was the point in drafting Roger McCreary if they're both slot corners coming out of college? But yeah, I just don't get that narrative of, well, let's put somebody else out there. It's just like, okay, well, find me someone who's better than Christian Fulton other than SMB right now. Because Caleb Farley can't do it. The guy's not going to play at all this year. And he's probably going to be cut after the year because he can't play at all. And then, like I said, Trey Avery's too small. And Kendall Vildor is just somebody we picked up off the streets. I'm sorry, but that's just it is what it is right now. We just have to live with what we got out there right now until next season. So, now that that's out of the way, let's dive into the safety position. So, the safety position has just been it hasn't been good this year. Kevin Byard going to the Eagles for a 5th and a 6th, which was the right move to make. And I know people are dude, I'm about to stop doing these Titans Facebook groups because they're so retarded and they mentally need to be checked out because come on, dude, really? This team is no good. Kevin Byard wouldn't have been back anyways. And I'm gonna miss Kevin Byard, sure, but he's not gonna be back next year. He's not. Might as well see what you can get with him for some draft picks rather than let him walk for free. And I know people are gonna hate the fact that we're doing business with the Eagles because of A.J. Brown and they got Zach Cunningham and they got Marcus Mariota and they could potentially win the Super Bowl this year. Oh my God! But come on, man, really? Our whole secondary is trash. Even with Kevin Byard in there this year, it was still trash. So, what do you want Rand Carthon to do? Do you want to go up to him and tell him how you feel? Because I just don't get some people. We have the most upside down fan base in the NFL. No wonder why we're terrible. But this whole secondary, has been bad this year. I think you do need to see what you have via the draft or free agency. But we'll see what happens there when we cross that bridge. But now I want to dive into the coaching, which is Shane Bowen. What do I think of him? What should I grade him? Things of that nature. So, there have been occasions where the defense has held the team to 20 points or under, which, you probably got a decent defense if that's the case. But I'm going to bring up a year for you guys. It was the year after Dean Pease left, 2021 season. In 2020, I think we were the worst defense in the NFL because Mike Vrabel was doing mostly the play calling, which, God, let's not do that again. And then Shane Bowen was, I guess he was like kind of the defensive coordinator. And when they were running the show, our defense was God awful. Couldn't get off the field on third downs. Penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty. Extending drives for the offense. It was frustrating to watch. It really was. It was frustrating to watch. And then you go into this, and then you bring in Jim Schwartz to kind of help Shane Bowen. Our defense is way better. It's really good. Especially in that, I know people don't want to hear this, but the Bengals game, 9 sacks. That was Jim Schwartz. He was designing the plays. But now that Shane Bowen doesn't have that, he has regressed. He has regressed as a defensive play caller. He cannot do it. And then you look into the defense, can't get off the field on third down. It's a repeat of the 2020 season all over again. Can't get off the field on third down. Penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty. Christian Fulton doing this. Roger McCreary doing that. SMB at times doing this. MSMB at times doing that. To extend drives for the offense. It's frustrating. Because you're watching this game and you're like, oh, let's go. We got off the field. And then you just see a yellow flag on your TV screen. You're like, oh my God. Not again. Uzi, not again. Like, what is, oh my God. So yeah, let's just get into the grade, because I know I didn't mention Monty Rice. By the way, I think Monty Rice he needs to not be on the team next year. I thought coming out of Georgia he was solid, but no, we need something else. And Chance Campbell as well, because I don't think I fully discussed the linebacker position. Though there are times where the defense is holding teams to 20 or under, especially this week against the Carolina Panthers, 10 points. Okay, well, let me tell you something. Ear warning incoming. The Carolina Panthers have the worst offense in the NFL. So, it's pretty easy to stop them, But we need a different defensive coordinator this offseason. We need something else, and I can't name one right now. But they should have kept Jim Schwartz, and that's a Mike Vrabel thing. That's a Mike Vrabel thing. Maybe they couldn't afford Jim Schwartz. I'm not sure. But Mike Vrabel needs to fire Shane Bowen. He is not. You need something else. You need an outside perspective that could come in and bring that juice, bring that energy to this defense. So make this defense have swagger, things like that, Again, coaching has been a big letdown this year, which is why the penalties are happening. False start after false start, penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty. Keep putting Kyle Phillips on punt returns, which, yeah, let's dive into special teams while we're at it. So, but let me give you a grade real quick on Shane Bowen. Shane Bowen, I got to give him a D. I got to give him a D. I'm sorry, this defense has regressed. He needs to go. But diving into the special teams now, which is the next hot topic and the final hot topic. Well, maybe not the final hot topic, but this is the next hot topic. I think that special teams, Craig Aukerman needs to be fired. Craig Aukerman needs to be fired. F. He gets an F. Solid F. If I could go F-, I would, if that was a real thing. F-. We're going to make up a grade today because F it, why not? F- for Craig Aukerman. Goodbye. Should have been gone. Don't know why you're still here. Don't know why you're still on the sideline. He needs to go. Kyle Phillips on punt returns. Nope. Eric Guerra on punt returns. Nope. They both fumbled. But you keep putting them out there because it's like, okay, well, who else are we going to put out there? But yeah, Craig Aukerman, his coverage units, the fact that we keep putting these same players out there, it's just, yeah, he needs to go. He should have been gone. Don't know why you're still out there, but whatever. Mike Vrabel thing. I thought Nick Folk has been doing well. I think Nick Folk has been hitting his kicks this year, besides the one from 50. But yeah, we need to get a field goal kicker who can hit beyond 50. And that's not to say that Nick Folk has been doing horrible by any means, but we need somebody I think we haven't had a field goal kicker who can hit beyond 50 in a long time. And that's just something we need on this team. We really need that. But But shout out to Nick Folk. He has been the offense this year. So yeah. Or you can make the argument that Ryan Stonehouse has also been the offense this year. So diving into the next hot topic here. And this is going to be the final hot topic. I'm going to talk about Mike Vrabel. What have I thought about Mike Vrabel? Apologize for the lag. It's very frustrating. I've said that I think Mike Vrabel needs to be fired because of the fact that this team has just not done good. And you look into the development of Will Levis, and that's the most important thing for this team, is fighting their franchise QB. And I just don't think that Mike Vrabel has put the kid in spots, and I call him a kid even though we're the same age, 24. I'm going on 25, so he's technically younger than me. But I think that Mike Vrabel at times has not put him in the best situations to win games. And I'm talking about the fact that he's playing too conservative. And I think Will Levis needs some aggressiveness. But I dive into why we're playing the conservative approach because we just do not have the roster to play aggressive. But with that being said, as a head coach, you have to adapt to what you have out there. And I've said that before, and I think Mike Vrabel has an issue with adapting to what he has out there. If he can just adapt to what he has out there, he'd be a better coach. And we're not getting rid of him because the franchise already said that. But let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's slow down a little bit. This is getting interesting. The Patriots are saying they want him for a draft pick. I think it's like a second or something like that. But hey, if it's a top 5 pick and you yourself already have a top 5 pick, and the Patriots give you, like, I think they're 3 currently in the draft standings right now. If you give the Tennessee Titans, and this is from the New England Patriots perspective, if you give them a first for Mike Vrabel, I'm sorry, I have to take their pick, dude. 2 first-round picks, where you could potentially be picking 3 and 5. At that point, you could say, F it, we're taking Marvin Harrison Jr., and then the next pick might be Fashanu or Joe Alt, and then boom, you have $100 million. You still have more picks to go. Oh my God, dude, that would be crazy. Will the Patriots do that? I don't think so. I don't think they're that stupid. I hope they're that stupid. I really hope they're that stupid. For Mike Vrabel, really, you're going to give us your 3rd pick? Come on, you can do it at that point. Bring an offensive-minded coach in. See what he's got. I'm hearing a lot of Ben Johnson. But at the same time, you got to bring somebody who can not have another Adam Gase situation. So let's see. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Because I just don't think that the franchise is willing to trade him. But if it is a top 3 pick and you don't do that, where you could have Marvin Harrison and Joe Alt, like, come on, nah. What are we doing at that point? You got to take that first pick. You got to take their first pick at that point. But maybe not for a second. I wouldn't do it for a second. But for a first, and, you tank the rest of the way. I appreciate what you've done, Mike Vrabel, but we need that. We need that. 2 franchise cornerstones in the first round. Ooh. We'll see. But but the franchise already said they're not getting rid of him. They're not getting rid of him. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me for Hot Topics. Oh yeah. What am I doing? Let me go over a grade for Mike Vrabel. If I had to grade Mike Vrabel, I'd give him a C, because there are times where he plays too conservative. I hope that he can figure it out down the stretch, but yeah, we'll see. But anyways, that's going to do it for me from Hot Topics, which I will go over that on Wednesdays or Thursdays. But it's been your boy Sportacular. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. And also let me know in the comments how I did on my Hot Topics episode 1 with Sportacular. It's been your boy, and I'm out. Peace, y'all. Have a good day.